Whew, alright, safe. The sock is out and we are ready to go. Yo, there's nothing to see here. Ignore the lotion and... Hey, son, why are you on the TV looking like that? Dad, it's not what it looks like, I swear. Yo guys, it's your boy Nirin here, and you are watching FTW. This of course the series where I bring to you the best and more frequently the worst of what football has to offer during the last 7 days. But what's been kicking off in the world this week? Well, P&O ferries are in hot water. I mean, actually, somewhat cold seas. After firing 800 members of their staff via a Zoom call, instead of conducting the sackings in person.
Therefore, I am sorry to inform you that this means your employment is terminated with immediate effect on the grounds of redundancy.
Imagine losing your job via a Toshiba 2006 laptop. Premier League clubs better not get any ideas here. Listen, you're sacked. But boss, I swear, look, I know this season hasn't been that great, but the performance... His head's so big that it doesn't even fit on the screen. To be fair, Harry Maguire has the turning circle of a ferry, so it would work well. We could boycott them, but this is Chelsea's only mode of transport in the Champions League. On to the football though now, and first, a game from last week, because football physically enjoys watching me suffer. This man saw FTW would come out 8 minutes ago and said, let me do a madness. Everton secured a dramatic late win over Newcastle in a relegation 6-pointer. But the main story here was an eco-protester tying himself to the goal frame. This guy's covered the back stick better than any Everton defender has all season. Excuse me, sir, do you have time to talk about our Lord and Saviour, Jesus Christ? It was nuts. So he tied his neck to the post physically, and it took 10 minutes for staff to free him. One steward found some wire cutters. What do you use these for? Flipping train tracks.
This is huge! This is massive!
Alright, look, I've looked at this bomb. I reckon we need to cut the red wire. Don't worry, bro. I'm way ahead of you. Fuck's sake, where did I put this then? Tom, we're on a time limit here. Yeah, one sec. Okay, yeah, okay, there we go. This is done. My man in the back, though, was struggling. Looks like me trying to flush the loo at 4 AM after a night out. I flipping knew the kebab was going to be a bad idea. The one thing I will say, though, is at least he was promoting a good cause here. The thing is, yeah, he's used single-use plastic to tie it. That's like trying to save a turtle with a plastic straw. He's likely to be barred from the ground for the immediate future. These are the scenes when other Everton fans realise they can be banned from watching the club live if they get onto the pitch. But as I said, they did win here, and Newcastle need to take a long, hard look at themselves, as Alex Iwobi scored a 99th minute winner against them. He's one more goal a season away from dropping a freestyle on Link Up TV. This is a man who helped break the hearts of Nigeria in just 6 minutes. The population of Nigeria is 200 million. That's 500,000 people per second. The Everton fans were happy with his work here.
Yes, lads! Oh, lad! I swear to God. Oh, lad, you got a big dick.
Meanwhile, in the craziness of the celebrations, Frank Lampard appeared to break his hand on the touchline. I mean, it's a good win. You gotta hand it to us. Am I right? Nah, but genuinely, it's broken in 6 places. You know what? Bun the usual structure. We're going to Spain now, where Barcelona dismantled La Liga leaders Real Madrid with a 4-0 win in El Clasico. Real have been slapped by a team that's getting angry texts from debt collection. Kylian Mbappe saw this result and was not on it.
Des joueurs qui avaient tout gagné, des joueurs qui avaient tout connu dans leur carrière, des joueurs avec une forte expérience.
Stay at PSG, bro. I don't care if they're booing the dinner ladies or not. Alright, lads, I've changed my... Turned this ship around. Bro, I don't even work here anymore. You're talking to the wrong person. Goals from Ferran Torres, Ronald Araujo, and a brace from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang sealed this one. He couldn't contain his laughter from the bench. His hairline is looking a lot stronger now, you know. Him and Rob Holding, maybe Mikel Arteta is stressful. Great celebrations in the Barca changing rooms as well, until Memphis Depay exposed Gerard Piqué posted him naked online. Zlatan's definitely screenshotted that one. Barca told Ronald Araujo to check his pockets, and then again once he'd scored. It's a shithousery award for the Catalan side. And his centre-back partner, Mr. Piqué, is getting a lot of praise from his missus, Shakira, who called him the best centre-back in the world. Starting to think these hips could well be lying now. What a performance from Barca, though, and from Ousmane Dembele. He just needs to stay fit and injury-free. Oh, God, my knee. Real's Lucas Vazquez chose an interesting time to break out Jogo Benito at 4-0 down. Nobody cares if you can do a roulette. The fans have already left. And it's a good week for Barca after securing a Spotify sponsorship deal. They're rumoured to be having different artists and albums being promoted on their kits across the season. Memphis Depay's got a difficult balancing act to manage when his side's 5-0 down at half-time, but his EP's on the front of his own shirt.
Do you want me to rap anyone? Lift the mood a bit.
No.
You're gonna have Barca fans streaming NBA Youngboy for 26 days straight so they can fund their next transfer. Meanwhile, for Real fans, back in the Premier League, and it's been a quiet week, but not for Spurs, who beat West Ham in a London derby 3-1. This one kicked off with a Kurt Zouma own goal to give Tottenham the lead. Cats in Pets at home must have loved seeing this one. The Frenchman then kicked the ball away in the second half and accidentally hit Heung-min Son. RSPCA saved this man, he's done it again. One fan had a slightly different story to tell on the matter, however. It was a good afternoon though for Spurs, unless you're Antonio Conte, now you're 3 points closer to keeping your job. Mamma mia. This Harry Kane Heung-min Son link-up has struck again. He finds more sons than a Prince Andrew mailing list. I've seen the light. Kane is back in top form. The guy's a complete enigma. I mean, he speaks English, but he still needs a translator for crying out loud. Let's go! He said, let's go. He plays passes like he's drawing them out on paper casually. His playmaking is insane. At the other end, and I've realised that if you take Mikel Antonio's gym membership away, he's completely washed. Now, for real, West Ham are still firmly in the race for Europe, and I think they'll still get it, but they need to address this little lack of consistency that's crept in. On to the FA Cup now, and Liverpool got the better of Championship giant killers Nottingham Forest in a tight-fought game. The big talking point here was a marginal Diogo Jota VAR call for the game's only goal. Chelsea fans must have been enraged seeing this one given in comparison to Lukaku's. Pause the fox hunting for a second, lads, because this needs a discussion. I do actually think it's onside, though. Like, it is very tight, and I can understand why people are annoyed, but Jota's not even leading forward, and the Forest defender is, so I just don't see it. This was an opportunity for Jurgen Klopp to visit Nottingham for the first time, apparently. He didn't have the team walking around the local area like before the Arsenal game, though. Why?
Crime.
I don't know if the team bus would survive a trip around the city, let alone them. The people of Nottingham are definitely stealing the back left tyre. Not even all four of them. They don't have the capacity for that. Shouts to Forest, though. Played unbelievably well. Should have scored before we did. They got some ballers, the likes of Brennan Johnson and Jed Spence, that starts with a D. Like, how does that even make sense? We've got to upgrade Nottingham Forest to, like, Nottingham Jungle now or something. They might have won in the league, but it was a disappointing day at the office for Everton as they crashed out of the FA Cup quarterfinals with a 4-0 loss to Palace. He's not 100% celebrated the international break. Seamus Coleman's still playing at his age. I mean, the poor guy.
You know what it is? We can't even be laughing at my man, bro. Man's 41, bro. Certain man don't even get to that age.
Mason Holgate's not serious either. This is the actual type of gate that he is. He plays like a Division 9 pro club's bot. Shouts to Crystal Palace and Patrick Vieira, though. He's got everyone in that whole team playing like a baller. Even Jack Butland, and he was registered missing back in 2018. I mentioned England squad selection, and Gareth Southgate's monthly right-back bingo sheet has come out again. Southampton fullback Kyle Walker-Peters got his first call-up. Man City's Kyle Walker must have been gutted when he realised it wasn't him getting the call-up. And Tyrone Mings is in again. Look, if this man wasn't left-footed, he'd be working in Holland and Barrett. Gareth Southgate's seen Fikayo Tomori wear red and black, and he thinks he's playing for Bournemouth. That's the only explanation of him not getting chosen. The Champions League quarterfinals draw is out as well. The Glazers were watching this one live, still thinking that United are in it, when in actuality Jadon Sancho's at home wondering if it's too late to audition for Top Boy. Chelsea have got Real Madrid again, and Eden Hazard's already planning the after party when Real get beaten by the Blues. Meanwhile, finally, Liverpool have actually got a nice draw, which is why we're now gonna go out. Arsenal beat Aston Villa 1-0, and Martin Odegaard did nasty things to Matty Cash. We've got to rename him Matty Pence from now on. Ivan Toney violated Brentford once again after being asked by a fan what club he played for.
What you do?
Professional footballer.
You're a footballer?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Ivan Toney.
Where you play?
No excitement.
Someone save this man. I bet he doesn't even tell his girlfriend that he goes to training. Meanwhile, Leeds completed an unreal comeback from 2-0 down to beat Wolves 3-2. And it featured the weirdest goal of the season from Rodrigo.
Oh, he's hit the post again. James on the follow-up. And still they go Leeds, and they find a way through.
March may have signalled the start of spring, but it was Jesse Marsh who added spring into the step of Leeds. The real turning point here was Marsh jumping into the crowd and trying to motivate the fans. Fight and win! Fight and win! And at Leicester, Jamie Vardy's under fire from PETA for wanting to own a giraffe and a penguin. Now, I don't usually agree with these lot, but I hear it this time. Where's he putting a giraffe in his house? Also, penguins can't survive on his diet of Monster Energy and Quavers, so it's not a good idea. Over in France, and PSG's club shop is looking like the scene of some UK roadworks. I mean, in the Champions League versus Real, the front three moved about as much as the stewards by the sideline, so now they can just dress like them. Meanwhile, PSG ultras attempted to attack fullback Layvin Kazawa's car as he drove away this week. The guy's played like twice for you in 4 years. Why are you targeting him? A French rapper called Coughs attempted a spontaneous and unauthorized halftime concert at Marseille's game against Nice this week. Imagine this happening in the UK and Aitch just breaking out a microphone for Chelsea v United at halftime.
Sasha man's watching the crowd, look how time flies. I'm
not being funny, but how have security not picked up the massive speakers that he's brought through? Lens right back Jonathan Klaus got his first ever French call-up at the age of 29, and here's how his teammates reacted to it. Meanwhile, 22-year-old Lorient forward Ibrahim Akone admitted that he kept his footballing career a secret from his family. They only found out when they saw him play on TV. So what did he say he was to them? What, an estate agent? Meanwhile, Lille's sporting coordinator Sylvain Armand got into trouble when his side faced none after he told opposition counterparts that he would, quote, "F their mothers," which is a little bit hostile, can't lie to you. The official Lille board statements are not exactly helping the situation, in my opinion. Elsewhere, there's the news that former United defender Patrice Evra is fighting YouTube star Adam Saleh. How and why is this happening? Patrice asked his agent for Mo, but he got it a little bit. We all know who he should actually be fighting in this situation. And after his antics on Sky Sports, I reckon we get Wilfred Zaha on the undercard against David Moyes.
What's real in Sky for Manchester United is when he had this true affair with David Moyes' daughter.
Over in Germany, and the Bundesliga is simply not real, with Manuel Neuer deciding to play as a Mazzala this week. Over at Bochum, and a linesman was hit by a beer bottle from the crowd, which caused the game to be suspended. Ridiculous from the fans, I can't lie. Not how you get someone's attention. You're not gonna do that in a club, are you? Hey, babes, what you saying, yeah? I mean, I'm just enjoying my night, I guess, and... This after the club had expressly told the fans not to throw beer onto the pitch the very same day. In Italy, and there's the news that Paulo Dybala will not stay at Juventus and instead will have his contract run out at the end of the season. He's been linked to Arsenal with Arteta. Bro, he'll be posting IG stories asking to leave by day 6. Either that or it's up to United to ruin what's left of his career. It's calm. They've already entered negotiations with Juve as we speak. No, I don't think you understand. You don't have to pay us. His contract's expired. £50 million. Take it or leave it, son. Meanwhile, in Milan, and Brazilian midfielder Lucas Paqueta dressed as Spider-Man for his 2-year-old son's birthday. Some cute deleted scenes from Spider-Man No Way Home, I've got to say. I just hope there's no uncles called Ben at this particular gathering. Oh, for fuck. Over in the Netherlands, and Ajax's Dusan Tadic decided that his teammate Anthony was not time-wasting enough against Feyenoord. Meanwhile, in the crowd, and Ajax fans seem to take an even more drastic approach by setting fire to their own banners. And that leads us nicely on to our first goal of the week that comes from the Netherlands as well, scored by MV Maastricht. When most others on the pitch were distracted by an advantage and foul given for one of his teammates, Smart Rhymez picked up the ball in the centre circle of his own half and let fly. Very different goal though, coming from Portugal, where Rafa Silva scored probably one of the best solo goals for Benfica that you're going to see this season. Telling you right now, if I tried this, I'd dislocate my thigh. And ahead of PSV and Copenhagen's European clash this week, Copenhagen fans attempted to identify PSV's hotel and set off loud fireworks outside it because they'd seen the team bus there. Turns out this was all part of PSV's plan. They'd intentionally left the team bus at a different hotel, and Mario Götze confirmed that all the players still got a lovely sleep elsewhere. Hello all, and welcome to The Beautiful Game, the segment where we take a look at the poetic and brilliant side of the game that we love. We are back by popular demand for yet more glorious beauty. And that concludes the beautiful game. Closer to home, and Mike Dean has announced that he'll be retiring from on-pitch refereeing come the end of the season. I don't know how he's maintained this crackhead energy for so long. Elsewhere, and it's pretty unfortunate when you stack it at a football match, even more so when it's captured on camera. And down in the 6th tier, we've got some unbelievable scenes between Farsley Celtic and Curzon Ashton, where Farsley Celtic's keeper has punted this one long, and he's got better results than he probably bargained for. In the world of futsal, and Cascavel are taking the piss with the amount of sponsors they've got. There's GCSE English resources with less reading on them than this. In the Norwegian Cup first round, and it's fair to say that the weather is pretty adverse, so much so they've had to scoop the snow into the stands. On the other end of the temperature scale now, and if you don't think football is spicy enough as it is, why don't you set fire to the football? This is how tiki-taka actually originated. One touch or you get third-degree burns. Over in the J-League, and we've got an absolute stinker of a goal over there. A game involving Newell's Old Boys in Argentina had to be delayed after grenades were thrown onto the premises. I need a backstory here because this can't run. Elsewhere in Argentina, and we've got, I think, a marginal shirt pull here. Have you ever been so excited as a football fan witnessing a goal go in that you physically take your leg off and wave it about in the crowd? And finally in Argentina, we've got a dog on the pitch again. I'm pretty sure this always happens in South America. There has to be like a job opening at every club, so like have your physio, your club doctor, your scouts, and then just club dog. In America, and former Villa goalkeeper Brad Guzan decided that actually covering his goal, that's too mainstream. Meanwhile, VAR in America seems to look like a lemonade stand. I'd hate to see what would end up happening if the official ends up getting the decision wrong. Yeah. And over in Malaysia, one side has somehow managed to commission legendary rapper Snoop Dogg to make a tune about, I think, just the club or like the new kit that they've got or something.
I'm with the Pantheon. Better roll with a winner instead. The revolution's never steady rooted, but the goal at the end with a toast.
I'm honestly not even confident he knows what a Malaysia is. Now though, for the moment you've all been waiting for, because over in Romania, we're getting some consistency back with this lovely nation once again, because there's been some records broken this year at Dinamo Bucharest. They managed to use 53 players in total during the course of the season so far, and have now gone through 5 different managers, and it's only March. Give it 2 more months and Dinamo could play an 11-a-side game against their managers from this season. Over in Egypt, and we've got the greatest free kick routine of all time. We've got a penalty run-up that Paul Pogba would be envious of. In Chile, and look, fair play to this fan who simply got far too bored and far too drunk on the touchline, and he's decided to make his own entertainment. Check out this pitch from somewhere in South America, I believe. Ground staff are 100% getting paid like 47 pence an hour. They know it's not worth their time. In the Mexican second tier, we've got another goalkeeper scoring in the final minute from a set piece. And look, you've seen the hand of God. How about the madness of Moses? Goalkeeping could be a little bit better though, on the other hand. Now though, it's time for Still 0-0, and you guys know the score by now. This is a segment of the show where I bring to you the best of Sunday League and amateur football. Now there's been a bit of a theme in today's episode, and it's been goalkeepers doing the unthinkable. Well, it's happened here again, as when the ball spills out to a young kid in goal, there's only one thing in his mind as it comes to him.
Go on, Charlie, go on. It's it, it's it, it's it. That's it, that's it, it's in! Yeah! Yeah! Oh, what's the goal? What a goal! Oh, brilliant! Oh, brilliant!
The confidence this dad has in knowing it's going in 0.6 seconds after it's left his foot is the confidence I want to have in life. On to the weird stuff though now. Over in Australia, and Central Coast Mariners accidentally had their Twitter account suspended when the admin for the page changed the details on his account that indicated he was too young when he started the original Twitter. Over in Brazil, and one TV station created a fake Atletico versus Manchester United game with fake names and fake badges as a way to highlight the problem of piracy online for football matches. I know for a fact United have sent scouts over here to try and sweep up the Brazilian Rashford. He's probably better than the real one. Up in Scotland, and Edinburgh FC have opened up the managerial job opportunity they have at the moment to the general public. And speaking of football managers, our final story comes from Indonesia, where an avid football manager player stumbled into a friendship with her next door neighbour after she hired said neighbour as her assistant manager in a game save. Our good friend Sylvia decided she was going to take the reins at Liverpool in her next virtual managerial role, and realised the former boss of Bali United had moved to the area. He was pretty decent on FM, so she decided to hire him, and then realised that he was in fact living next door. Apparently, he even gave her some advice as to things that she should do in the save. This might be one of my favourite stories in FTW history. That note is going to wrap up football this week, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at officialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.